Yo, what's up, humans and bots alike? I am Ghangasrath, and welcome to Scrollin Through the Floasis archives. Now, if you have not seen my intro to this series, definitely check it out. And today, in this episode, I'll be covering the Plateaus in Learning, started by Kai. So, this one is a very interesting read, but the most important parts are the first and the last thing there. I mean, it's not a very long discussion either. The longest part about it is this first thing here. And so I'm just going to read a bit of it. Uh, it's Kai quoting this dude and giving commentary on the thoughts. So, Plateaus in learning, most dancers who have taken lessons know about reaching plateaus. For new dancers, it can be very frustrating and can lead to quitting. And then Kai puts that in liquid, since it's a more free-form style of dance, it can mean the opposite of this statement. In fact, one cannot pull focus off of specific patterns or techniques, endlessly looping them. Because of this last statement here, we define reaching a plateau as when you seem unable to learn more. But all of these statements that follow, they also work for if you define a plateau as not being able to do a specific technique. So, right here. Number one, first impulse is to take a break. Kai agrees, and I'd agree as well. Don't be afraid to take breaks. Number two is examine your learning methods. Kai puts that it requires the ability to understand how you learn and also to break it into examples. He gives a lot of really good examples here. So, do you record? Do you use a mirror? Do you drill? Do you party? And do you dance alone or with other dancers? Those are great ways to really dive into what makes you learn better. 3. Book a lesson with another instructor. And Kai's response to this was pretty smart. He puts, if you're reading this in forums, then someone is indirectly teaching you. Especially with this community that we have as Glovers, with the GL, we have 2glove.com. Amazing is putting on the lights on comps, and we have a lot of just online competition, as well as in person, but a little less of those. So even if you're not connected with your local community, online, if you're on the GL, which I suggest to be on if you're not already, and you can leave if you want to. The GL is kind of not the best place to be. But yeah, just definitely also ask people. Right here he puts a handful of people here have made and are still willing to make personalized videos for people. So, 3 was book a lesson with an instructor, but just look for different tutorials or ask someone in the GL. Even if you just see a video and you say, that's a cool move, can you break it down for me, please? And then they might. 4 is that you can try to use a related dance, a different dance, and use a similar technique, although it uses a different purpose. Kai's response is, watch this video to perhaps get a better understanding. Sadly, that's a dead link, so you can try it, but you're not going to get anything. This is really useful, this is something that some people don't really think about. There's a lot of things that are interconnected, right? Like especially dance and flow arts, into gloving. Digits, liquid dance are very into gloving. The only difference is that with gloving light shows, you focus on the lights and the trails that are created. In fact, a lot of flow arts, use lights, obviously, and those techniques can also be brought into, other dance styles and gloving. So don't be afraid to try to look at other tutorials and techniques in other styles or flow props. In fact, getting flow props might help you with your gloving as well. So 5. Sometimes there's too many distractions to make it difficult to concentrate. And Kai really thinks of, he is a little, he's put go out into a crowded area and start your stuff and or feed off observers and other dancers. So just this sentence right here, perhaps people are what inspire and motivate you to dance. So number 5 is, it's all about distracting and, not having the time. So it's tune out distractions, but don't be afraid to just do what you want, Whatever really helps you is what you should try to do more of, is what he's going for. 6, try videotaping your lesson or ask the instructor to demonstrate the dance on tape. Kai responds with record, record, record. Don't be afraid to record. You don't have to post it here or anywhere else in public. And these are really great tips. I also feel like there's a lot of people who are willing to help. So don't be afraid to ask yo, if just hit someone up in the message. Be like, yo, dude, can you help me break down the show for me? And then just send them the show. If it's something that you want to learn, then send them that show. Or if it's something that if you need tips and you just want to get better, then record a quick show and then send it to them. 7, consider outside influences that are counterproductive in learning. And Kai says that this is big for some people, especially himself. I don't feel this way, so I can't relate as much, but basically this last sentence here, if you're not feeling it, don't do it. Dancing should be fun, not a chore, quote unquote. And also, don't be afraid to branch off, be as comfortable as you can when you're doing a video or when you're doing a big performance, but don't be afraid to branch off, maybe try to change your mindset on some things. It's always good to learn more and to grow as a person through the dance. As a glover, right? Gloving's not necessarily dance. 8, are you getting in enough practice in between lessons? And Kai has a good response to this with, I attribute this to how much time you spend chatting here on the forums and watching videos compared to how much time you actually dance. There's no golden ratio, but even he puts to keep a healthy, productive mix of the two. Some people, I noticed that all they do is all they do is practice, which is really good. I'm not dogging on it. In fact, those guys are much better than I am, especially in the cleanliness aspect. I'm not a very precise, clean, person. Look at my finger rolls. But having a healthy, productive mix of the two. So one big thing is that we have forums, we got Facebook, we got YouTube. There's so many ways to watch videos, and there's so much information online. So I feel especially if you have a group of people, if you just hang out with your team one night and then just watch a couple videos and respond to it with shows, I think that's a good idea. Also, watching videos like these, all these scrolling throughs, right? Like I'm gonna be scrolling through a couple other things as well, not just these Floasis archives. So definitely check all of those out. My big thing is don't be afraid to branch out from gloving because you can learn from a lot of other things and relate it back. 9. Find a dance friend who will really listen to you. Next, Kai puts, it's easier said than done, but having a partner in crime will help you improve. You have to be friendly about it, and also don't be afraid to just ask as well, like, or, you know, just have a local person and be like, yo, we're rivals. Because I mean, shout out to Mr. Freckles, that's not what happened. He just found me tutting one day and he was like, yo, you tut? And after that, we've just been kind of wanting to be the best tutters on island so that, you know, we can teach more people how to tut. Which is, you know, as you put, easier said than done, finding people who really want to tut. And for me, thread as well. But, yeah, so that's a very useful thing. Pushes both of you guys, and if you have a whole team, it pushes all of you in a healthy manner. And then have like small one-to-ones within it, and it'll be nice. 10, last one. Review what you've learned so far. And Kai puts a really smart thing here. There's kind of a duality between the two. You do have to take time to review what you've learned so far, but also don't get stuck. Oh yeah, right here, quote right here. Just don't get stuck in last month's movements. So always keep going. Don't be afraid to try new things, especially on camera if you're not gonna like post it or anything. But even if you are gonna post it and everything, don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be stuck in last month movements, and definitely go over what you know how to do. I'm a big fan of making drills, so if you don't already make drills for stuff and have scales for everything, then, you know, as one tech head to whoever's interested, might help you out. And also, if you want to like really innovate on a style, just pick one concept and then just expand that as much as you can. So that was scrolling through the Plateaus in Learning discussion started by Kai. You can read the entire discussion if you want, but that first post was the most important part in my opinion. Shout out to Kai and whoever he was quoting, because I don't believe it said who he was quoting. And hit me up if you got something that you think that I should scroll through. Be sure to like this video and hit subscribe if you want to see when the newest vids come out. And yeah, thanks for watching. Keep chill and shoots.